Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the whatever name this podcast is going to be called podcast. Currently I don't have a name for it. So I guess that's one thing I could start off by talking about is trying to come up with a name. So if you have any suggestions, just go ahead and put them down below. I'll take suggestions and I'll take whatever ones sound good and I'll put them on a Twitter poll and we'll go from there. But this is kind of the feeling out process of me trying to figure out everything and see if anyone's even interested, how things are going to possibly work. So, for example, if I would upload this on the EBW channel, of course, and if I want to put it on the Carry Animal Grow channel, if it depends on how everything goes, I might put it on both, seeing as I run both. And yeah. So this podcast is going to mainly be talking about wrestling. By the way, yes, I'm probably going to say a lot, so I apologize. That's probably very not professional, but still. So this is going to be talking mainly about wrestling. I might review what happened on this week's Raw or in SmackDown and whatever. Shoot, there we go. You just have to get used to the ums. Along with that, just talking in general about wrestling. If y'all want, I could watch pay-per-views and give my input, as if it would really matter in the first place. And just wrestling-related stuff, I'm hoping that I'll be at a good rate with this, and I might one day be able to start having actual people appear. I'm having some of my friends already be like, oh, I'm down for coming talk about wrestling. So I might have some guests here or there. And I want people to understand me as well and see my perspective on things. Controversial, not controversial. Just anything wrestling related, I'm down about talking about. So for this, as I said, it's a feeling out process of trying to get used to everything. To how this thing's going to work. The editing on this may not be the best. Whatever it may be. I'm just hoping that people will end up being interested and will listen. And I'm not trying to be a competition for anyone, by the way. I'm just doing this mainly because I like wrestling. And I'd like to discuss it with people as well. So, here's that. So currently at the time of filming, I don't know when this is going to go out. I might aim for a Saturday. Who knows? So today, which ain't actually today, I'm filming this on October 2nd, but as of this moment, this Saturday, I don't know. I'm confusing myself. Anyway, on October 6th, that'll probably make things a lot more easier if I just said that. On October 6th is a show that I'm going to called Wildcat Sports, which may lead up to my second episode of reviewing the whole show itself and just, talking about it. Because Wildcat, if you do not know, is a wrestling promotion that is not very close to where I live, but it's not like, a 3-hour drive. It's about an hour 30 from where I live. And I very much enjoy going to the shows. And this is their 7-year anniversary show that they call the Revolution Rumble. So as of right now, it's kind of too late to go ahead and purchase any kind of tickets at all. But you could go ahead and check them out on YouTube if you can. They also have all kind of streaming sites that you can watch episodes that they put out here in Louisiana, in the New Orleans area, weekly. So you could go ahead and check that out. So at this point, I'm going there, and it's currently a Tuesday, so which means SmackDown comes on in about 30 minutes. But I'm hoping to have this wrapped up before then. So Wildcat Sports, I'm going to go ahead and discuss them a little bit as a wrestling school and a company, a wrestling promotion. It's a wrestling school that I'm hoping to go to one day. So if you want to go ahead and check him out, do not be afraid to check him out. The owner is Luke Hawks, and he has a good bunch of talent. I must say, he has a lot of good, talented wrestlers that he's training over there. Sorry, I'm just fixing everything up. So, as I said, this is the feeling out stuff, so I guess I'll go ahead and have y'all try to understand me a little bit better. As of right now, Well, I have a sponsor, but I'm not going to just like have a little commercial break, even though you could go to blackstonelabs.com and enter code CarryGrow to save 10%, but I'm not going to go ahead and just have a commercial break. I promise you, as I said, this is the feeling out stuff, so I knew this was going to be about me rambling, but in the future I may start working on a list of discussions and whatever else. But, so if you want to go ahead and give it a dislike, I'd completely understand, since this is probably going to come out like crap. And I wouldn't say expect these episodes to be very long at all. I wouldn't say to expect that one bit, because, yeah, I like rambling about wrestling, but I don't like taking people's times up a lot, you know? Anyway, I am Carry Grow. People on the internet may know me as Carry Animal Grow, from wrestling back in a yard, which a lot of people don't agree with, which I may have a discussion about that one day, who knows. It is a form of wrestling. Anyway, I'm Carry Grow, and I've watched wrestling for a long time, since I was 8. But the thing is, and it's going to sound weird, it might not make a lot of sense, but I was a fan of it at 6 years old. So, how does that work? Simple. I have a nephew who's older, which that is possible, who is into wrestling and had the video games, right? So, since I was 6, so you gotta think SmackDown vs. Raw wise, which would make SmackDown vs. Raw, I guess 2006. I guess that one would count. I don't know. Yeah, he had a good bit of ones. Yeah. So anyway, for a while I was playing those games with him, and I would lose. I sucked at them. I wasn't good at games then, wrestling games at least. And I started to recognize a lot of the people. Well, I remembered them. And, it never occurred to me that they were real people at all. I saw action figures of them, but, there was a lot of game stuff that had action figures. They have Mario figures and Call of Duty figures and Halos. So I just thought it was another, like, gaming, merchandise stuff, And eventually, in 2008, I remember this vividly. I think I was just catching the very last moments of a SmackDown before Royal Rumble 2008. I think it was the last moments where Edge was doing the cutting edge, and he had Rey Mysterio on. And I remember so vividly. They were talking, and Rey Mysterio, like, they start, doing whatever. Rey Mysterio goes for a 619, he hits it, and that's whenever Vicky Guerrero was in the wheelchair. And he 619 Edge, he was about to go for the West Coast Pop or the little sit down, and Edge moved and he landed right on Vicky. And at that moment, my mind was blown. I was screaming, I know them, I know who they are. Well, I didn't know who Vicky Guerrero was, because she wasn't in the games at that time. But I was like, I know who that is. That's Rey Mysterio, and that's Edge. Oh my God, they're real people. Because I was thinking at age 6 all the way up till then, who would be crazy enough to hit each other with chairs and weapons? So, seeing that in real life was like, wow, And it was so weird. Before I discovered wrestling, and before I wanted to be a wrestler, I wanted to be a basketball player. But the funny thing was, I didn't know anything about it. I never watched basketball. I had no clue who anyone was, to be completely honest with you. I probably know more now, but that doesn't mean that I want to play it or watch it. I'll be straight up with you guys. I have no knowledge of any other sports. The only thing I know is the Saints won the Super Bowl in 2009, but that's because I live in Louisiana. Other than that, I really have no knowledge of sports at all, which is probably a shame on my part. But I'm not into anything else other than wrestling, which is crazy to think about. A lot of people can't live without it. Can't live without football. I love football season. Which, it's alright. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, continuing on. And it was such an experience, and I kept up with it ever since. I used to be upset if I missed an episode of Raw or SmackDown because of vacations or we were out doing something, and it is upsetting. But I've watched ever since, and I'm so glad that through the years I was able to expand my wrestling knowledge from the age of, I guess, 6, but mainly 8, all the way up till, now. With me starting to watch, well, I didn't just start watching. From that same year, I also discovered TNA, which is now just known as Impact. And that I enjoyed them. I'll be honest, that was the first time I went to a wrestling show, was with TNA, and it was absolutely amazing. I loved it. I wish they'd go back on tour again. Anyway, because they came to my town. I keep getting a little bit off track. But I now have, knowledge of WWE and TNA, and I keep forgetting that Ring of Honor's on Fight TV app, and I have it, and I can watch it on my computer as well. But I keep forgetting that it's on, so I'm not lost. I can't say that I'm lost, but I probably don't have as much. Now, I do keep up with it. Just to let you know, I may not watch the episodes, but I do keep up because Twitter. I would watch New Japan, but I don't have New Japan World, and I don't like completely stealing off of sites. I used to, whenever I didn't have the network, WWE Network. That's how I used to watch shows and stuff. But I have that, but I don't have New Japan World, which I don't know. I'll watch their matches on YouTube, So New Japan, I probably should. As I said, I keep up with everything on Twitter. If I see something on Twitter involving wrestling, I probably follow it. Not everything, I'm not. There's these weird Twitter sites that just fat booty wrestling. It's stupid. There's a lot of stupid stuff, But I'm so glad through wrestling I was able to expand my knowledge of it. And from the point of 8 years old all the way up to now and probably forever, I've wanted to become a professional wrestler instead of a basketball player, which I have to explain. I am a pretty tall person. I will not lie to you. But I'm also a lot bigger because basketball players, they're kind of skinny. I know that much. They're not muscular. And they don't weigh like, the 220s. Well, they might. I don't know. Depends on who you talk to. But I'll tell you right now, I probably don't have the physique of a basketball player anymore because I started lifting weights to become a wrestler. I'm pretty bigger now compared to when I was 6. Which is something that a lot of people probably wouldn't have thought of me saying. Y'all probably didn't expect me to say that, and y'all didn't even know me when I was 6. But anyway, as I said, I'm probably just rambling on to add more time, trying to get a feel-out process. I am down for any kind of help or tips. Mainly tips. I'm good with the Photoshop. I can come up with something. As I said, I need help with a name, though. I do need help with a name of this. It could be relating to wrestling in any way, or to Carrie Animal Grow, Persona, nothing backyard wrestling related. Just want to add that. Don't say the Yarder podcast. That's not good. That's not going to get people's attention, and especially if I'm talking about just straight up wrestling. So keep that in mind. Straight up wrestling related, not top roof diver names or anything like that. Nothing like that, please. But I will take suggestions. If you need, if y'all want any guests that I could probably get a hold of, yeah, I don't know. In the future, I'll be straight up with you guys. In the future, I do want to interview future wrestlers or up and coming wrestlers. I'd love to interview people from Wildcat for sure. In case y'all didn't know, I'm a fan of Wildcat stuff. By how much I've talked about them so far. Well, you know what? We're pretty close to hitting the 15-minute mark. I don't want to waste anyone's time. Or whatever. So, tell me how I did. Probably hit the like or dislike buttons or comments saying I was horrible. And come up with names and give me tips on whatever. So, thank you guys very much for listening. Goodbye.